obviously, most of our guys that work here part-time actually work down there as full-time deputies. We have a lot of great knowledge within our police department, a lot of great training. Some of us have done narcotics investigations prior to. So I rely heavily on the urgent task force to be able for them to do most of our narcotics investigations up here. Very labor intensive. And for some of that, we need to have some legislative changes. Certainly not to violate anybody's rights. We don't want to do that. But even at the county level, our district attorney is very proactive. He has investigators as well. But he's got a certain requirement that we have to meet when we're doing an investigation to be able to put it before a grand jury. So with all that being said, I think with the whole epidemic across the nation, that's where we have to start. We have to start with legislative changes. As far as educating our youth, I think it's huge. The 212 Coalition, I can't say enough about the girls. It's an amazing organization. It really another thing I'll tell you I'm a huge proponent of, and actually Wednesday night I'm supposed to talk before the Bennett PTA, is having a school resource officer in our school. Everybody thinks of it as that militant type of atmosphere in a school. It's not. It's really not. It's a partnership. It's a partnership with the principal, the superintendent, and law enforcement, and the community. And that little stuff that goes on, we don't have to get involved in. You know, the school can take care of it. Obviously, the bigger, major stuff, yeah, you know, there's certain things we're going to have to act on if we find it in school. And I'm thinking everybody here would agree that we should act on it. So I think it's really about education and open up a dialogue, getting our local politicians to get to Gibson and to get to Schumer, and you know, it really is something that we have to work on. Rumors are great, by the way.
Joyce, do we have a line on our website, a tip line?
Well, what happened when this came off, I went to the county website,
Right.
and I clicked the link to the, I was going to, I didn't want to say this, but I clicked the urgent tip line, the link, and it doesn't work. Page cannot be found, so I called the county, and that was kind of hard work. So I called Nina Poshpak, our county clerk, and she got it done and got it fixed for us. So I will be posting it, but if you do Google urgent, you know, just the word urgent, Ulster County Sheriff, it'll come up there. It's basically an email address, and it is anonymous if you email them. If you have a tip, you can email them, and even though your name will come up.
I mean, your email addresses
So,
show up, but
if
there
they don't.
should be a phone number on there.
Yeah, there's
and,
no.
I'll check it out in the
page.
morning because it should be.
We got
It should be
Amy's
up
going
there.
to call tomorrow. She's going to work tomorrow, and they're going to look into it on their end. So both
I'll see
places,
our
the
IT
sheriff's
guy.
page also. So, but yeah, so we have a link to the county page, but it's easy enough to Google.
Right.
So hopefully we'll get that working.
What can the 212 Coalition, what do they need from
I was
us?
just going to invite one of you ladies, if you'd
good.
like to come up and speak for a moment.
Right.
There's some wires. I don't think it's gonna
We don't mind.
Well, I was kind of coming here more as like a community member. Ryan was a really close friend of mine. Heard about him a lot. And I live 2 minutes up the road, not even. So this is kind of like my home. And so I just wanted to come and hear what everybody had to say and like what everybody's ideas were, because that's kind of what we do, is just listen to what the community needs, what the community wants to know, and how we can educate them and, you know, fill in those gaps so that as a community we can come together and try to end the stigma of addiction, bring a little more awareness. It makes it easier for people to reach out for help. But then again, you can only help someone as much as they want to be helped. So we kind of like focus a lot of our effort on like prevention and education, and a lot of support for the families. So we've started a Touched by Addiction support group that's open to anyone at the Woodstock Library every first and third Wednesdays at 6:30, and that's open to anyone. And we encourage everyone to come if you have a voice to be heard. It's a safe place to start, you know, opening up the dialogue, getting some support.
So Route 212 Coalition, we actually named with the Route 212 in mind. and we really wanted to be able to reach the smaller communities in Ulster County that don't always get attention like Kingston does. And so we really are geared towards like coming and hearing what everyone has to say. We're a community coalition, we're grassroots, and we want to figure out what resources are missing and be able to go and talk to whoever we need to talk to see if we can get that addressed. It's a really big issue in our county as a whole, and we really just...
I spoke at the Ontario Forum with Chad, and like he said, it was kind of disappointing seeing the amount of parents that came out. I heard a little bit of feedback. That's what I heard a little bit of feedback saying that it wasn't like advertised well enough. What be it? So I don't know. My idea is maybe like doing something like that again for the community, because a lot of parents actually said that they would be interested in something like that. So we have some ideas. Chad approached us about maybe bringing in something. We have our next educational forum on the 30th in Saugerties, and we were going to plan one for Shandaken in April. And I think that it's important that we do something a little sooner, obviously. So we're working on that, and we're trying to get together resources as soon as we can. So you can reach us on our Facebook page and let us know what you want to know, what you're interested in, we had like an insurance navigator at our last meeting that was really informative on how to like navigate insurance to get people into treatment and detox.
We had a drug identification presentation that we've also done at some schools, and at our upcoming meeting we will have some resources that hit all over Ulster County coming to talk about what they do to support dealing with this issue and supporting the community and what's available. And so we have up here, just for you guys to take if you'd like, we have like an information page with our information and a little bit about the coalition itself. We also have our support group flyers that you can take. And if you're looking for a way to get involved and you want to do something else, it's a 2-page thing. And these are just some volunteer task forces that we have with our coalition. If you want to get involved or you want to learn more, or there's a project that you really care about in regards to substance abuse and addiction issues, reach out to us and let us know, because we want to help you make sure that you're having those things worked on. Those are really important, and what you want to see in your community really matters.
Could I ask you if you have any programs ongoing for the actual kids who could be potential victims?
So what we have right now in terms of prevention and education types of programming are specific to the community as a whole. Anyone's welcome, youth are welcome, and on sort of a youth-specific note, we reach out to youth regularly, but not in a programmatic format. But anyone is welcome at any of our community education forums. We try to have one every month. And we also have our support groups that youth can attend as well. Anyone can attend them. And our goal at some point is to do more in the schools. We have some presentations potentially coming up with the students at the Woodstock Day School. And Cassandra already did like presentations at Onteora. And we're in communication also with the school district in Saugerties. So we're trying to open those forms of communication. It's a step-by-step process. It's kind of just the two of us with support of the community, which is why we really would like volunteer support. If there's something that you want to do or a way to get involved, this would be a really great time to do it because it's really needed.
And we know that like youth is obviously the most important demographic that we need to reach. But it's hard because a lot of the time youth are a little intimidated either by the issue or by speaking about it publicly, and that's been something that we've been trying to work on by like ending the stigma so it's easier to keep the conversation going in a comfortable way. It's also the schools. I would reach out to your school and let it be known that you want to either have like earlier education for drug abuse or more consistent education for drug abuse, or you want to have outside resources come into the schools. Like, I think that the environment has changed a little bit with our local school districts, where they're a little more open to hearing what the community has to say, because it's a reflection on them, you know, when their students are dying. And I would utilize that. And the best way for
expand on that for 1 second.
Yeah.
Once a month, we have the Ulster County Police Chiefs Association meeting, and just prior to that, it's the first Wednesday of every month that we meet. Just prior to that, at 9 o'clock, we have a school safety committee meeting. So that's basically all the police chiefs and representatives from each school district in the county. And this has been the hot topic for the last 6 months. You know, the 1 hour meeting is, you know, it started out with the nurses having Narcan in school, and then now it's went really towards just education, the education aspect of it. Saugerties is very proactive. The Walk Hill School District is very proactive. Walk Hill actually had the first community forum that was kind of modeled with Ontiora, but they're planning another one. Also, I attended the Board of Superintendents with the main guy from BOCES running the meeting last week in New Paltz, and same thing. The whole hour was just strictly dedicated to educating our youth regarding opiate addiction and just, you know, how to reach out for help. Like I said, we did do the 2 assemblies for the high school, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and talking with Lance Edelman and the acting superintendent of Ontiora. They're planning one for the junior high, obviously age appropriate, and they're looking at doing one at the intermediate school as well, which is better. So it's out there. You know, the conversation is going to get the message out to our youth that, hey, this can happen to you. One of the other things that was brought up in one of the school safety meetings is, you know, sports injuries. Most of these kids are playing 3 sports and they're getting injured and they're going to the doctor, and right away the doctor wants to prescribe them Percocet and Oxys and Hydros. No. Like, as a parent, you got to say no. Like, my kids don't need this. So it's been a lot of great dialogue the last 6 months, so it's definitely a positive movement going forward.
And nothing that's going to be solid and informative and really impactful is going to be quick. It all takes time. And we want to make sure that we educate our kids in the best possible way we can.
And our community members as well, because you want to know information so you know what you can do moving forward. That's a big piece of it as well.
So you can like reach out to us. Our Facebook is like Route 212 Coalition if you
It's
message
all
us
on
through
this
that.
sheet.
Yeah.
You can find our website, our Facebook page. You can email us. Our personal phone numbers are on here if you're really trying to get a hold of us for some reason. But yeah, please reach out to us. Please take some of these flyers. Let us know what we can do.
Please volunteer.
Yeah. And I just want, it's like, you know, Ryan was my friend, so I wish that we could do more. And maybe
Why don't we
sometimes
do
we're not
more?
doing enough. We're
I would like
trying.
to know why the town board does not
This is
form a
our
committee and get the people in this community, when talking about education, which is fine. Let's talk about the kids that are out there with something up their arm and they're dying in the streets. Let's get to them, and let's ask you to tell us how to have urgent come up here again. If we have to go down and get them, we have to write all our people down in Kingston, Albany, everywhere. But we as a community, as town board, have to get a committee and get the people involved. Get the mothers, and we've got to get the police out on the street. If we got to walk up and down Phoenician Street 2 or 3 nights a week, it's out in the open. I went to the horrible funeral. The dealers were there, the kids were there, some of them were high. It was ridiculous.
Thank you. What I wanted to address the ladies, first I was going to ask if you could hand me the sheet so I can get in contact before everybody brings the sheets in. Number 2 is, you know, again, I'd rather not, it's tough having this.
On our website. I'm going to post it on the website.
But it's difficult to have a discussion like this when you have FEMA projects, money, this, that, all these other business items that we're trying to deal with. Again, I'm more than willing to, I'll get in touch with you via email, ladies, and see if we can coordinate something maybe for more specific to discuss this and create a forum for it, maybe within the month, and try to get a more detailed discussion just dedicated on this and get more of the public involved in it. Whether we do it here or maybe down at the parish hall, put it right in Phoenicia so people can see it and get more direct access to it.
And I think it's gonna be for support for our youth, or anybody that has an addiction problem. It's very hard for them to get from Shandaken to Woodstock for a meeting. But if we could start having more support. Oh,
Can
sorry.
I
Yes.
just project a possibility here? Okay, so the town of Shandaken has a building. It's a house that was willed to the town, and it was meant for a health practice, yes?
Yes.
Health practice does not just mean a doctor's office. Health practice means the health of the community. It means that the bereavement counseling that goes on in Kingston, which is 25 miles from here and 25 miles back, has a satellite in that building.
Okay, so let me slow down. I'll slow you
Okay.
down. So we
That's-
are currently in negotiation with somebody to
Okay.
go into that building. It is not just for health, not just for physical health services, but also mental health services.
Okay.
And one of the things, again, following this occurrence, was I was going to ask them and address with them if there was anything, any services they could provide, additionally with the mental health services.
Okay,
To
so
provide
that was my-
education, outreach, substance abuse help.
Substance abuse, but also education through the community, so the community members can come in and actually give of their expertise and ideas to classes, to workshops, so that it becomes more of a community center that is holistic. It's a holistic community center. That is what I am asking. Something that is more broad-based so that people don't have to look all the way to Woodstock,
again,
all the way to Kingston.
Maybe Chad or ladies, I'm not sure if you can address this, but the family of Woodstock does offer bereavement counseling. And they will come into the community and help people with that. And I'm sure we could certainly, again, start a conversation with family of Woodstock, maybe have them come to the Phoenicia Library and sit there and do some bereavement care. We went through it in Irene. I had a couple of gentlemen walking around town, literally knocking on doors, just checking on people to see how the mental state was.
Well,
because
that
was
is perfect, but like if we have a center where it's like, and can coordinate between the library, between the churches, between the Zen Mountain Monastery, and even create programming for these young people so that they're not on the streets looking for something to do because they don't have anything to do. Something that can bring the community all together.
Again, it's I read another, I don't know if it was in that same article I talked about before, but it was a talk of the desocialization of America. And heroin is just that perfect drug that
Yes.
fits right into that gap, where you're just locked into your phone and you're Facebooking and you think you're being social, but you're venting and you're just doing it on a website. And you're just closing your whole world in and you're becoming more antisocial. And now you have this drug that actually wants you to be more antisocial and closed in. So it's just self-defeating. And it's really, again, you can't say enough about, like you're saying, programs, getting out, activities, doing things, getting them out there and being more social. It's really becoming, you gotta force it. I catch it with my own daughter, my 5-year-old on the iPad. And come on, we're going outside. We gotta go outside. We gotta do something. We gotta stop locking into these things. Yes.
Can I get your name?
Adelinda, Adelinda, IHYDE.
She's from Phoenicia.
Phoenicia.
Do
Hi.
we have the town board considering doing something
I
about
just said,
forming a committee?
we're meeting.
That we set up a meeting at the parish
We will
hall
be
up
setting
here?
up, we set
get
we set
everybody
up a
together.
forum and have subsequent meetings.
My name is Aiden Ferris. I'm from Phoenicia, and I work with this organization called Earth Guardians. It's a youth-led intergenerational organization that helps basically activate and empower young people to take action in their communities or become active generally in their communities, whether it's around civic engagement, environmental problems, social justice, drug abuse, all of that. So I just wanted to speak up and offer that because we've talked a lot about the importance of having education for drug prevention, and while that is incredibly important, I think that a really huge way to address the problem of why kids are even turning to these drugs in the first place is maybe they don't feel supported in their communities. Maybe there isn't enough happening for them. There isn't enough avenues for them to put their energy and feel like they're making a positive influence in the world, or that they even have a purpose. If we look at what's happening in the world today, it's very overwhelming. So for any teenager looking at their future, it's bleak. And so Earth Guardians is a great way for young people to get engaged and to harness their passions. And we have a lot of programs that are about to be coming out for everybody in the community to get involved in. We're asking people, any of you, if you have anything you'd like to offer the young people. Earth Guardians New York just got a space in Woodstock. It's 96 Mill Hill Road, right across from the Woodstock Playhouse, and it's open to people who want to offer their skills. So we've got an architect coming to talk about sustainable architecture. We did acorn flower making. We're looking at herbalism. We're basically just creating a place where young people can be like, oh, I'm interested in this. Wow, there's this other person who's an expert in that. Let me go talk to them. Because that way we can create these paths for young people instead of letting them out of high school and it's just kind of a dead end. So I'd say it's like really important that we do educate and that we do have these public forums and these conversations, but I think that we need to attack the problem from this other angle as well. So yeah, having a community center or something in Phoenicia, that would be interesting and a great way to. But yeah, Earth Guardians New York. Check us out on Facebook, earthguardiansnewyork.org. And my name's Aiden, and Aiden at earthguardians.org if you want to get it.
Aiden, again, if you could hook up with Joyce maybe, and then you can do it through the town website, go to clerk and Shandaken.
So you can take one of our newsletters and all our
And we'll get the
contact
information
info.
out there, and thank you. With that, I'm sorry, but again, we've got some other business to take care of, so we're gonna go to executive session for a moment. Really, we're gonna go downstairs for about 5-10 minutes, we'll be back up and we're going to close our meeting. Of course, Ronnie is one of the people on the list, to close the memory. You're more than welcome to stay, we should be right back up. Thank you for being patient, thank you for the comments, thank you for keeping us in line, really appreciate that. So with that, make a motion, motion to close the regular meeting and go to executive session concerning the legal matter. All in favor?
You're up, Josh.